Hi, I'm Rina Grishina. I'm an actress and director of the Short Film Festival from Moscow, Russia. I'm very happy to be part of the jury for the student category at Leiden Shorts. As I know from my festival, Moscow Shorts, this category is very competitive and in many cases it can easily win a main competition as well. We call it student category just because the films are made during the university. So let me say it briefly. It was very difficult to choose the winner of the year, but we had to choose one of the films. So we did it. I hope you will enjoy it.
Hello, I'm Abe Geil. I teach film studies and critical theory at the University of Amsterdam. And it's been my great honor to serve as one of the jury members for the student competition in this year's edition of Leiden Shorts. I want to second my fellow jury members in saying that all of the films, without exception in the student competition this year, were extremely strong. And each of them, in their own ways, provoked quite a lot of engaged and lively discussion among us as we were deliberating. So thank you. It was great fun to watch these films and talk about them. That said, we want to single out one film for a special mention, The Golden Buttons, and I'll say just a few words about it. The film opens with this astonishing shot of boots, military boots, marching toward the camera in this characteristically Russian slow goose step formation. And as they get closer, we see that something isn't quite right, that it seems that the feet and the ankles are maybe a little too small for the boots. The legs are shaky. They're not really sticking the landing as well as they might. And what emerges as the film goes on is that this is really a portrait of young boys in a Russian military boarding school. And this opening shot of the awkwardly fitting, stepping boots is a kind of perfect figure for what we on the jury took to be the central occupation of the film, which is this exploration of a period in these boys' life in which they're not yet entirely saturated by the gender they're being trained into. So more generally, the film becomes an exploration of the formation of a certain kind of masculinity and especially the vulnerabilities and cracks that emerge in that often quite violent process. The formal means that the film uses to explore this theme are equally impressive. Most prominently, I would say, is the use of close-ups of faces of these boys that are in some sense both interchangeable but also utterly singular. And in the background, out of focus, we have the institutional activities and discourses unfolding. And in the interplay between the foreground and the background, we start to see this entraining take place. So for all of these reasons and more, we'd like to give a special mention to The Golden Buttons. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Peter Hesselbert and I'm affiliated to the Leiden University here to the Department of Film and Literary Studies. My task today is to announce the winner of the Student Award competition of Leiden Shorts, and that winner is here and there. So here are some of our considerations. So first there's the interplay between the film's form and its thematics, that is that of migration, which is captured in the figure of the mischling, the mixture. Experimental as it is, the film kept us captivated from the beginning to the very end. And that form is rather remarkable. There's a rich array of materials that come to pass, from Google Maps to analog photographs and photographic enlargements, from pixel tiles to Google Street View, from live action shots to historical documents and even chalkboard writings. And there's many languages as well. So there's also the use of cinematographic means, the zoom, the cut, the track, and the use of focus that all allow the film to comment on, to differentiate and draw parallels between these various materials, between, if you will, the haptic and the virtual, that which is within reach of touch and that which lies beyond. The end result of this well-paced choreography of materials is a clever cartography of migratory patterns. Another thing that struck us is how consistently the film invites us to come closer and closer again, but never quite allows us inside. Interior space, whether we are talking of buildings or minds or media, you'll find, remain for us to fill in with our own critical imagination, which, given the film's complex and weighty thematics, however lightly it touches upon it, is a very welcome gesture indeed. Another thing to note when watching the film is how clever the film interrupts its own spatialization of time. Here, two moments are good to pay attention to. First is the final shot, which kind of reintroduces a sense of duration of a body being present in time, which is the body of the narrator herself, instead of being flung across it all the time. And second, prior to that already, the clever use of silence, the way silence is used as that from which all the sounds emerge and into which they disappear again, which give us, as a viewer, a sense of anchoring, being present in time, even when we are constantly being disentangled from it. For us, that made of this film a perfect example of compact cinematics, an homage to what cinema can be, what it can do, what it can achieve, and what it might become in times of its ongoing and radical transformation. We wish to wish all the nominees of this year's student competition congratulations for this marvelous achievement, and in particular to the winner here and there, which you will view in a few minutes' time. Wishing you pleasure.